He was on the brink. One massive win, no money left. This is part 2 of how Wes Ball turned it all around. Welcome back to Verdicts and Vogue.
So what did you do? Because usually when you're you're the attorney that's getting referred the case, essentially you're taking the cost on as well.
We are. We strategically partnered with some really, really good people. I stand on the shoulders of some of the absolute best lawyers that you could have. I'd give credit to them for sure. I mean, Fred Hagens was one of the gentlemen in Houston that helped us. He's a hell of a lawyer. Frankly, he's a titan in the industry. We had people come to us and offer to help, but in reality, what they were trying to do was take advantage of a couple young, good lawyers for what their talent and efforts were bringing them. And then we had other people like Fred and a few others who looked at it and said, I want to help the younger generation. I want to help the people below me do exactly what I've done. And he came with like a no catch kind of
like no strings attached.
No strings attached to it. I mean, he came and would go to mediations with us. You know, we'd always say we need a little gray hair, and then we kind of joked later. It's like, maybe we need a little white hair. You know? And so he would go with us and go to mediations, and he funded some of our cases as well and took very small fees off of it. He did it because he cared about the next generation of lawyers who were going to protect the people that needed to be protected, because he knew he wouldn't be able to do it. Someone that worked for him, our really good buddy, Jared Leventhal, is another person that did that exact thing with us, advocated to Fred, advocated to others like, hey, take notice of these guys. You really need to help them because, one, it'll help you later. I'm sure it'll come back to you, as it has. And two, like, it's the right thing to do. And that's what happened.
So now, I mean, today you are president of AIEG, right? Which is Attorney Information Exchange. Yeah. This is your first year. Yeah. That's why we went to Germany to celebrate. Not celebrate. It was a board retreat where we spoke about business.
We talked about so much business there. I mean,
so much business.
I don't even remember drinking the beers. Did we? I don't know.
I don't drink beer.
But yeah, IRS, if you're listening, we had robust agendas.
Yep.
Yes.
Ad nauseum conversations about the next 2 years.
It was, I'll tell you what, going to Germany for Oktoberfest is I'm not joking when I say this, one of the biggest honors of my career. And I truly mean that.
So
I mean it.
Say more. I want to hear this.
I mean it because, as president of AIEG, Attorney Information Exchange Group,
which is a big deal. I think it's a huge deal.
I think it's a gathering of some of the best lawyers in America, if not the best, right? We're lawyers that try, high stakes cases for quite a bit of money. And so as president, you get the ability to plan 2 board retreats during your 2 years. And the board retreats can kind of be whatever you want them to be. And some go conservative, some go bigger, kind of depending on the mood of where everyone is and what's going on. And, I tried to kind of bring my presidency for the first 6 months that we've been into it. We never really got away from it, but just really to accentuate the thought of, friendship and love amongst our membership, because our membership really is about a bunch of really good lawyers who share information. And that's what makes us very strong. We make it such that, the big giant corporation can't step on us with hiding information and telling us that it doesn't exist where it does and things like that.
It is a really great group of people.
And I really think that works best when everybody is as close as they can be. Trust is a huge deal in sharing information.
Of course. Right? Of course.
And also it trust helps for the charity of it as well. So many lawyers won't share information because they look at it like, no, that's mine.
Or they'll share information with strings attached.
Right, with strings attached, like bring me into your case.
Oh, yeah.
We don't do that. We have we have a strict policy of, if you ever, put a string on sharing information like bring me in, you can't be a member. That's bottom line. And so because our members are such good people and such great lawyers, it was an honor to me that when I announced like, hey, I want to make sure that we do something like big together to make sure everybody remembers what this organization is about, and it's built on friendship and trust. When I said, let's do Germany so that we can do that, and 68 people said, yeah, man, let's fly across the pond and do that. Like, I mean, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it, because I was like, holy shit, like, people are actually doing this.
It was a great time
to do it. And I just think that's just, it speaks volumes without saying really anything. And I appreciate everybody that did it. And it just makes me feel real good that I'm thought well enough about that somebody will get on a plane and go across the ocean to have some beers with me.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, not even a second thought. Chris, my husband, had it all planned out. He knew. He was like, I'm going to wear the leader hose in. I'm going to go see Wes. We're going to drink beers together.
Well, we made that a contingency, right? or a requirement, should I say. No one was allowed to come unless you wore lederhosen or dirndls.
Yep.
I mean, that was bottom line. And I told a couple of people, I was like, don't mess my pictures up.
Well, it was a great time. And then as president of AIG, is there something that you want to focus on during this time?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily something we're not already focusing on, but our practice in products is moving towards, CAT.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is, and
for those who don't know what CAT is collision avoidance technology.
Yeah. And I mean, it's everything from, Tesla, all the way through every heavy truck having or not having been equipped with stuff that's going to make less accidents on the roadway. I really think that we are in our part of time is much like what the seatbelt time was in the 80s, right? There wasn't a mandate on seatbelts or airbags for quite some time. And it was because the consumers didn't call for them.
Sure.
Right. And we know how much safer vehicles are because of seatbelts and airbags. We are now in a time where, automating our vehicles is now giving us the ability to not even worry about seatbelts, avoid the crash as a whole. And I'm doing everything that I can. I want our organization to do everything we can to make sure through jury verdicts and through as many cases as we can that we tell manufacturers the public now wants it. The public is mandating it. And if the public's mandating it, that at some point the government will mandate it. The government will say, much like they did with airbags, much like they did with seatbelts, the government will say, oh, we're an extension of the population. You would like to have 18-wheelers that no longer change lanes and run people off the road.
Yeah.
You would like to have cars that will stop on their own when someone's not paying attention. Fine, we'll start doing it. I think it comes from us first, though, right? It comes from, I think it starts with lawyers. It starts with lawyers holding companies accountable for having the technology but not putting it in.
Because it costs more.
Right, and explaining to the consumers, if you want it, then make sure to tell them you want it with your verdicts, and that's where we're going. Hopefully one day the thought of a seatbelt or an airbag, malfunctioning, not working, however you want to say, is a small percentage of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the huge overwhelming percentage is this should have never happened.
Sure.
And we know it should have never happened for the following reasons. Now let's talk about that. We're going to be needed for that. We're going to be needed. Us as lawyers are going to be needed for that. I think as much as we're needed now for, holding accountable malfunctioning seatbelts and airbags and tires and things like that. But that's where everything's going. And so with AIG, a roundabout long answer to your question, we're focusing on CAT, and then with that more technology, bringing AI into our practice, making things easier, making it to where everything's making information more accessible.
Well, I think it's, that I'm a strong proponent for AI at my office with, of course, the right security measures if you have a closed universe and so forth. And then CAT, understanding it and learning it, and then hopefully helping the new generation of attorneys be prepared for these types of cases. Because a lot of times they don't realize that is, but like a CAT case is actually a CAT case. They're just looking at it as a standard red car, blue car, something happened, and they're just going for the third party insurance and then first party insurance, not realizing that if the damage is warranted, hey, we potentially have a collision avoidance technology case.
Yep.
So,
it is, as long as the public and the lawyers advocate for it, at some point it's going to follow. It just will.
So I know that you've been doing products, even though it wasn't what you started out wanting to do because of all the reasons you shared with us today. Now, how did you get involved in the Alex Jones case?
Just kind of what I've said earlier, our sense of responsibility to do the right thing.
And for those that are listening, tell us a little bit about the Alex Jones case, what it entailed, and how you became involved.
So, I mean, I would have to begin that whole story by recognizing Mark Bankston, a brilliant attorney in our firm. Mark's worked with us for the years are passing by so quickly. I would say Mark's been with us for probably at least 10, 12 years. And Mark is very, very politically involved. Very, very politically involved. He's very left leaning. And he's very, very involved in stopping misinformation. Always has been. He thinks it's just, it's basically the weaponization of stupidity is making us a terrible, terrible society, right? And so I say that because Mark was called one day by a gentleman in Florida, and the gentleman in Florida who contacted Mark wanted Mark to represent him against Alex Jones. And the reason he wanted to represent, or the reason he wanted to sue Alex Jones is because Alex Jones had said previously on his, whatever you want to call it. I mean, in those days, he actually had a platform on all of the platforms, whatever Instagram or Facebook and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I don't have any social media. I don't do any of it. So I sound terrible when I talk about it because I truly don't have any of it. So anyway, that's when he had a platform. And when he had his platform, he put on his show one day that this man, Marcel, was the shooter in Parkland, at the Parkland shooting. Obviously, he was not. He'd never been to Florida. Excuse me. He wasn't in Florida. He was in Boston. He had never been to Florida. He was in Boston. And so Alex Jones throws this kid's picture up on his show. The next thing you know, we're in Boston right now. People are throwing bricks through his window.
Oh, wow.
Within hours. And it's like,
and I think his show was Infowars, right? That's what it was.
Yeah, the show's Infowars. It's like, what the hell is happening? So he calls Mark, and Mark comes to us, and we're like, yeah, that's kind of effed up. Like, yeah, sure, that guy's a loudmouth. I got no problem with suing that guy. It sounds fun. So he Jones is based out of Austin, and there's an old Texas statute that says if you defame someone in a way of saying they're a murderer, it's per se defamation. If you say they're a murderer. And the reason for that was because, back in the old West times or whatnot, if you put up a wanted for murder sign, the word would travel way faster than the next sign saying, sorry, they didn't do the murdering. Right. So anyway, we sued Jones, and when we sued Jones, the Sandy Hook families saw that. I think they got some inspiration from it. They believed we had a little bit of strength to give them. And a number of the families contacted us and said, about this Sue and Alex Jones things, we got a pretty good case too. What do you think about it? And, I'm sure everybody knows what that is, but you recall in 2016 when Sandy Hook massacre occurred, and 21 kindergarten students were murdered in cold blood by Adam Lanza. Jones immediately went on air and started saying, this is not real.
It's a hoax.
Those kids weren't there. Their parents aren't real. The parents start giving interviews, and like the parent never had a kid, just buying into this bullshit of misinformation, stupidity being weaponized sort of thing. And so when the families came to us and said, we'd like to sue him for defamation, we immediately said, hell yes.
You said yes without just knowing.
Not even a thought. Let's do it. I look back on it. I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I should have thought about it, because a number of days that we had the FBI at our office opening boxes because they thought they were bombs in them and stuff like that made me kind of at some point look at it and go, oh my God, what have I gotten myself?
So by taking that case, you had threats at your office.
Oh, we had law enforcement in our office so often after that occurred. For the same reason that the kid in Boston's getting bricks thrown through his window for something that happened down in Florida. The moment that it happened, everybody figured out who we were. Like, our reviews online are forever ruined because of it. Kyle and I used to think it wasn't that big of a deal. And now we have people telling us, like, you really need to get those reviews better. But I mean, the reviews are like scum of the earth lawyers and whatnot else. But it's because
you're representing Alex. Because
Yeah,
you're going representing family against Alex Jones.
all his cronies go on and, say they're the worst people on the face of the earth. And then we get like 1.5-star review because of it or whatnot. But I mean,
Good thing your business doesn't depend on reviews.
Right. Well, I'm being told at some point, like for some of the other lawyers in the firm, that it kind of does, and we kind of need to do something about it. And I'm always just like, I'm not on social media. Who cares?
So with that case, you took on that fight. You went through the threats. I mean, it was a hard fight. He was definitely slippery. I've seen a lot of the videos and of the trial and so forth. You ended up getting a phenomenal verdict for the family.
We did. I think, again, I should remember these numbers. I think it was 49 million.
Okay.
It's 49 million.
49 million.
Yeah.
And then wasn't there a punitive portion of it?
I think that included the punitives.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is you get the verdict, then he files bankruptcy. Are you still in the process of dealing with that? Because I know that there's a part of you declare it not dischargeable, right?
Well, you're not supposed to be able to discharge any intentional torts, right?
Sure.
And I mean,
under 523A6.
Right. And this is an intentional tort. You shouldn't do it. But, when the machination, when the machine of bankruptcy starts to turn, you are at its will.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I can say. It's so damn frustrating. It really is, because at the end of the day, the bankruptcy attorneys are just taking all of the money away from anything that the families should have gotten. It's aggravating as it can possibly be, because it just delays things to a point that it almost makes you believe what you did for the good of it to begin with never should have been done, if it's never going to be followed through with, because all you did is get people's hopes up that nothing ever happened with. I think in my closing argument, I told the jury, basically, put him down, right? Don't spank him. Don't take don't hurt him. Put him down, because if you don't put him down, he's going to grow up out of whatever, ashes are left. And he's going to be on, a street corner on Congress in Austin, yelling his bullshit again. So totally take him down. And I said that because that's exactly what's been happening ever since it happened. I mean, he hasn't shut up. He's not stopped the misinformation.
Nothing.
He hasn't stopped caring about his own profits at the sake of, like I said, weaponizing stupidity.
I'm so surprised that he's still profitable. Haven't they? There has to be some. There's
oversight, and, I'm sure that some of the other smarter bankruptcy lawyers would tell you that he's not, and we've got him in the right. We don't. I mean, his profit, I think, in his mind is to be able to yell into the abyss of a screen, knowing that people are watching him. That I think that's what he actually cares the most about.
That's a sickness.
I used to think that it was the money.
Yeah.
But the more and more that I've gotten, come to terms with what's happening, what he does, I think he really does look at it like, I care most about yelling into the abyss and knowing someone's listening to me.
I don't know. It sounds like a sad existence to be that be your goal, but I'm sure. I mean, he hasn't stopped, and I don't know what will stop him.
I don't think anything will stop him. I think it's, hopefully we educate people on being selective about what you listen to, but there's all, that's, again, it goes back to the whole, it makes you sad sometimes, because you look at it and go, man, I really wanted to do a bunch of good with it. But then you look at it and go, but the people that think that, you're entrenching them into their beliefs even further. I mean, we had a person speak at our conference this week about, voir dire and jury selection. And the fact of the matter is, they had a great point. They were like, listen, if you confront someone who has a particular belief, the odds are they're just going to get further entrenched in that belief.
If you approach them, they get in the defensive. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, as much as I'd love to say you can educate, I'm starting to think, no, you really can't educate people. You can just hope that their time comes and goes without too much disruption.
Oh, that's beautifully put. That is. So now you have had a wonderful career. You're still in your career. You are making waves. What do you see yourself doing in the next, say, 3 to 5 years? What's your goal?
Oh man, I really like tarpon fly fishing.
I know you do. More time for fly fishing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one thing I definitely want to do is make sure that when I'm not doing this anymore, that somebody else who's close to me, and we've got, a lot of nice, good lawyers in our firm, are doing it kind of the same way that it was done for Kyle and I. We had some elder, great lawyers that looked at it and said, I want to help you out because this is good for society. They did, and I think it has been. And I'd like to do the exact same for some people under me, to make sure that when I finally decide, you know what, I think I might enjoy a little bit of my life now, a little more so than I have in quite some time, that there's still some people behind me that are fighting the good fight.
Nice. Very nice. So we're getting to this point of get some questions here. So rapid fire, since you have no social media,
I'm going to have to
open up another beer.
You gave me 2 beers, so if these are going to be rapid fire questions, we need some really good answers.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
These are fun questions. Not too much thinking about it. We'll start easy. What was your childhood nickname?
Wesley Todd.
Full name, Wesley Todd. That was your morning person, night owl.
Night, sure. I hate morning.
Go-to comfort food.
Unless I'm fishing. Go-to comfort food. Wings.
Breaded or unbreaded?
Grilled.
Oh, nice. Good shit. Spice. What kind of dressing? Like the sauce?
Dry rub.
Okay. Very nice. When's the last time you felt truly alive?
Last time I felt truly alive. Ooh. I feel like I've had something here recently where I really, really felt that. What was it? Oh, I can't believe I missed it. I shot my first elk with a bow.
Really?
Archery. I did that about a month ago, little, probably about 5 weeks ago. And I love being outdoors. I'm an outdoorsman. It's my favorite place in the world to be and to do. And I have been elk hunting for quite some time. And I mean, I love elk too, by the way. That's also one of my favorite comfort foods. But I shot an elk with a bow for the first time, and I've never felt more alive.
Wow.
It was the most unbelievable, exhilarating thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I mean, save and short of my family and my girls and everything. I mean, obviously that's number one, but I mean, I was shaking so hard that I couldn't walk hardly. And there is nothing that has ever given me that feeling again.
Wow.
Or before, should I say.
Okay. What instantly puts you in a good mood?
Instantly puts me in a good mood. I would say Jaden and Jordan, my two girls. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for them to put me in a bad. I take that back. They can put me in a bad mood, but they also can more easily put me instantly in a good mood than most anything else.
Okay. Do you think love is more of a choice or a feeling?
I think it's both. I don't think I could say one over the other. I don't.
If you had 24 hours left to live, how would you spend it?
With my family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not even. I would hope that I would spend it with my family on a boat, saltwater fly fishing.
Perfect. See, that was. What's the most underrated joy in life?
Most underrated joy in life, I think, seeing other people happy. Not necessarily, because that makes me happy. So watching other people become infectiously happy, I think that is something that is really underrated, because not a lot of people get to see it. I think they feel like they experience it when they see it. So.
Yeah. And what's a small habit that changed your life in a big way?
Listening, I think.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think listening would be it.
If you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be?
Anyone alive or dead, who would it be? It would probably be my father. He passed away when I was 23, and we were close towards the end. And as I have gotten older, as everybody does, as every, man and woman gets older, they begin to understand that there's something way bigger than they are and where they came from. And I never had those opportunities to bounce some questions off of him that I would probably have wanted to do as a young man.
Yeah.
So having a question or having a session with him now, considering where I am and what I've done and where we left off, would be pretty freaking amazing.
Got me a little teary-eyed there. I'm trying to hold it back. All right. What's the weirdest superstition you actually believe in a little?
Weirdest superstition. Weirdest superstition I believe in. I'm trying to think of any of them that I believe in. Yeah, I mean,
using a special bait when you fly fish, standing one way, making sure you're.
I mean,
no.
I'm just trying to. I'll if I come back to any superstitions I believe in, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I swear. I mean, I just, I don't think anything guides me unless I do it.
What is a smell that instantly brings back good memories?
Probably going back to something I said earlier, grilled wings. I cook a lot in our family, and anytime I'm cooking, I'm always happy. I'm always happy because I'm sharing it with my family. I'm sharing it with my friends.
That's good to hear.
And that's a very distinct smell that I can even smell it right now. And if I'm smelling that, then I'm having a good time.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more questions. If your life was a movie, what genre would it be?
Life was a movie, what genre would it be? I think really well-written sci-fi.
Okay, that's a good one. And who would you choose to play you?
Harrison Ford.
I said, so I have one more. Who would you choose to play Carissa?
I've got to go with sci-fi since I said that. So good character that could play Carissa. I can't think of anyone right now that I could really trust with her life. I don't know, because she's so unique. I mean, she is. She really is so sweet. Yeah, you stumped me on that one.
On that one?
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
All right.
Think of anyone else that I would think could play her in any way. I mean, I'd probably have her play herself, because
herself.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, she'd be
pretty
good at it.
She'd give another career.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you for being here with me today, and for letting me interview you, and for just sharing a little bit about yourself. I appreciate it. And
I appreciate this.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you too.
And thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.